Hi, Pastor Greg Pagh here. Are you a committed Christian who is walking in a daily relationship with Jesus? If you are, I have two important challenges for you today. First, register and vote in our national election on Tuesday, November 5th. And second, vote biblical values. Instead of just voting for a political party or a personality, inform yourself about which candidates hold positions on the issues that are most honoring to God. There is no perfect candidate, that's for sure, but we must each make a choice, and staying at home is not a good option. If you're unsure what biblical values are and how they relate to the issues of the day, keep watching and then follow my posts on a variety of issues leading up to the election. These messages will all be between 4 and 5 minutes long. It's estimated that 40 million Bible-believing evangelical Christians stayed home during the last presidential election. Did that number include you? When it comes to politics, you may feel called to separate yourself from what you perceive to be dirty water that you just don't want to swim in. Someone once offered this definition. The root word of politics is poly, meaning many, and ticks are tiny, blood-sucking creatures that drain the life out of you. But when, as Christians, we choose in our frustration not to vote, our inaction effectively turns the nation over to secular leaders who will abandon the very principles upon which this country was founded, especially faith in God. That's why I believe that it is both our civic and religious duty as Christians to vote. The greatest threat to America isn't a Democrat or a Republican. It's the fact that so many in our nation have turned their backs on God. This is the existential threat. The greatest problem facing America isn't political, it's spiritual. It isn't the loss of democracy, it's the loss of our souls. As Christians, we cannot sit on the sidelines when so much is at stake. We must both kneel down and pray and stand up for our faith and values. It's one thing for me to encourage you to vote in this upcoming election and to vote biblical values, but that term can mean different things to different people. Here's what I mean by it. Biblical values come from the Bible, of course. They represent wisdom and truth for every generation and are not subject to the changing winds of society. Biblical values are about what God says is right and true, not political correctness or so-called wokeness. Sure, there can be differences of opinion about the issues today, but Christians should always ask, what does the Bible say and what would Jesus do? A good follow-up, then, is how do my faith and values intersect with the important issues of our day? Truly committed Christians will get informed and vote those values. Are you willing to ask those questions and seek those answers as we move toward this election? If you're up for the challenge, then watch my posts each week. I'm going to share what I believe to be a biblical worldview about the economy, immigration, abortion, sexuality, racism, war, and the environment. All topics that a lot of people, including Christians, consider too hot to talk about. But we must talk about them. I'm going to challenge you to consider what you really believe and why you believe it. Then I hope you will decide which candidates at all levels of government best represent your Christian beliefs, your biblical values, as imperfect as our candidates may be, and vote. I believe there's a battle going on for the soul of America and its citizens. It's a spiritual battle that manifests itself in the physical realm, often in our politics and government institutions. But evil is being exposed, the lies are being exposed, and Jesus will have the victory. If this video is helpful, please share it with someone you know that may be interested. My next post will be on the economy, the topic that most voters indicate is at the top of their list this time around. Watch for it and please share it with others. People of God, pray for our nation and stand up for truth. Blessings to you this day and always.